Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button down below and join the family. And yeah, I'm not gonna talk too long in this intro. I'm gonna just get right into it. So this is going to be the how I met my husband video, and it's gonna explain a lot about me and a lot about my relationship, because my relationship started when I was really young. And I know a lot of people view this as like, oh my gosh, like, you know, you're crazy, how did you get into this so young, and like how you know, did your mom allow you to get married at such a young age? So this is gonna be my side of, you know, the whole story. And maybe in a later video I can get my husband to do an maybe I can get my husband to do a video explaining how he feels and views it, but for right now, this is just me. Sorry if I keep looking down, it's because I have my phone in my hand with some notes. So this all started when I was 16. I had just turned 16. So, but let me go back into, you know, earlier on in the years, so you can kind of understand a little bit as to why the age he is now wasn't such a difference. So I'm gonna say my age. I'm 22 years old and my husband is 41. Yeah, that's a huge difference, right? But I've always been like into older men, and before I was even with him, I was with someone else that was much older as well. Not too much, but he was older. So older to the point where he was still like, it was still not legal for us to be together. So yeah. And the reason I'm saying this is because I met my husband through that relationship and through that experience in life. So yeah, let me start off. So I met my husband a day I went into, my husband used to work at a grocery store, and I went in looking for the person I was with at the time. And it wasn't like we were together, it was more of like an off and on type of relationship, because we were having many issues. Like I said, I was really young. I just didn't view things the way I do now, and we were just going through it, right? So I walk into the store, and I went in to talk to my ex, let's just put it that way, the person I was with before I met my husband. And my husband, so he was there at the time, and I went in thinking that, you know, I was gonna talk to, you know, the person I was with, or like messing around with, and, you know, just kind of have a different type of, I just didn't think it was gonna go this way, okay? I went in and he was there, and we just kind of kept looking at each other. And, you know, I said to my mom, even though I was really young, I said to my mom, I still am young, but you know what I mean, like younger. I said to my mom, I like him and we are gonna be together. I said it just like that, without knowing that that would really happen. That was the first day that we ever even seen each other. And I walked in planning on talking to a completely different guy, and ended up just kind of, you know, shifting towards his direction. And yeah, so I walked out, and then the second time I went in, you know, it was just him there and his other coworkers, but it wasn't the guy I was with wasn't there. And it's not like I was in a relationship or anything. We were broken up. We were just messing around at this point. He was talking to a different girl, or should I say many different girls, but the girl he was talking to ended up being his wife. And the guy I was interested in ended up being my husband. So it's like kind of crazy how you look back at things and view things like a certain way, and they turn out to be kind of crazy. So the second day I went in with my mom and my sister. The first day I went in with just my mom, but this time around I went in with my mom and my sister. And you know, I was kind of just depressed that day, just kind of out of it, because I had been going through this type of relationship with the guy I was before, and you know, he was still kind of like trying to flirt and looking at me a certain way, and you know, which, you know, I kind of ignored that day because, like I said, I was not feeling myself at all. I was just really depressed. But my sister actually, like, I had told her that there was this guy there that I liked, and you know, we were having kind of a little bit of like a conversation, and she was like, oh, let me get your number. And he was like, my number for what? Oh, for my sister. So it's thanks to my sister that I have, you know, 5 kids, and I'm married, and I have this life. So yeah, thanks, sister. So I got his number, and I think I texted him that night or that afternoon or night. I can't remember. I can't really like remember. This was all 6 years ago. So I think I texted him that night, if not that late afternoon. And he responded, but I wasn't really like, I would say 3 text messages in, I wasn't really into it anymore, because he was just being a complete asshole. And he was, I guess at the time he was really in a different like state of mind and different type of vibe, you know. He was drinking and kind of partying all the time, which was okay, I guess, because he was single, but at the same time he kind of wasn't, just how I kind of wasn't. We were, I guess, tied to different people. So he was actually talking to someone else, which the story seems kind of crazy. He was talking to someone else. I'm not gonna get into it because I don't want, you know, one of them to come across this video and be like, oh, why is she talking about me, you know? And yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot. And I feel like, you know, I feel like because I was so young, I was so stupid and just dumb enough to like go into this thinking that it was true what he was saying, and he was actually single or whatever. And I guess he was in the same boat I was. So yeah, that was that. So yeah, I wasn't really into it at the beginning because I felt like he was just in a different mindset, and I was in a different mindset, you know, and I just didn't want that. I didn't want to deal with that. But as the days kept going on, we kept talking, and we ended up meeting up, and ever since that day we met up, we never separated again. That day we met up, I actually slept over his house, and ever since that day I just never went back to my house. I would go and visit, you know, grab clothes, change, whatever, but then I just ended up staying there. And it's just crazy because I was 16 at the time, and I didn't know all of this was gonna happen. I honestly thought that it was gonna be like a relationship that came and went, but since he was older, he didn't want to get in trouble, and neither did my mom. So We ended up getting married, and you know, once we got married, things were different. Not a bad different, but not a good different. They were like in between. I think it's because of the age I had and the age he had. He was ready to settle down really quickly, and I was just, you know, I was wanting to settle down too. I've always wanted a family. Like I said, in my history, there's just a lot my family went through and a lot that I went through as a child, so I was pretty ready to settle down as well, at such a young age, I know. But there's reasons for that, and I feel like I'll probably make a separate video on it. I don't know when, but I will. And yeah, that's how we met. I walked in expecting to talk to the guy that I was messing with at the time, and you know, basically my ex, because that guy I lived with for a while, and we did everything together, and we were actual couples. So yeah, it's messed up, I know, but I guess we don't really have a say in what the future holds for us. I didn't expect my life to be this way now. You know, I have 5 beautiful children, yes, at an early age, but I never wanted to have kids old, because I felt like once I hit that age, I would just want to be relaxed all the time and not want to be dealing with, you know, having to change diapers and taking care of babies and all of this other stuff that comes along with being a parent. So I always wanted to do it young, let alone, you know, have to go through certain medical conditions. You know, like I said, I never know what the future holds. My family, there's a family history of cancer. There's a family history of, you know, many different things that I'm not going to get into, because I'm going to do a video on my family's journey and everything that we've been through with that whole cancer situation. But yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to start a family young too. You know, there's other things that, you know, played a role into that decision, but I'm not gonna get into that because that's just a lot, and I just don't want to get upset anymore about it. I've been upset about it basically my whole life, ever since everything happened, and I just don't want to get into that. But yeah, that's how me and my husband met. So to summarize everything, we met at a grocery store, and it was thanks to my ex that we met. And you know, I am here with him, and we have 5 children together. We've been married 6 years, and ever since that first meetup, we've been basically inseparable. And that's just how life is. I never expected it to be that way, to go down that way. Honestly, I was in such a bad place at the time because of all the stuff I was going through with the partner I had before him, and you know, depression and all of that. He was a very special guy to me, and out of nowhere, you know, he kind of just decided to do what he did, and it really like brought me down a lot. Like, it was really difficult for me. And basically when I met my husband, he was just constantly there, constantly proving to me that he was faithful, and that's how I met him. And thanks to him I was able to get up and continue with life and become a stronger and a better person. And that's our story, and that's basically the end. So with that being said, I hope you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.